Now, if you saw Liverpool's 3-0 thumping of Manchester United, you probably, either when watching the game or highlights afterwards, or somewhere on social media, saw Trent Alexander-Arnold recreate Steven Gerrard's legendary celebration at Old Trafford, where he walked up and smooched the camera. Now, me personally, I loved this, and it really didn't matter that the goal didn't stand, because it brought me back to a happy time in my life when I watched Steven Gerrard play week in, week out, and seeing Trent pay homage to him. I quite enjoyed it. And obviously, these are two players that get kind of compared quite often. Mainly because both of these two players are Liverpool born and bred, came up through the academy. Both are generational talents. And in my opinion, they are both fantastic passers of the ball. But when watching this, I do have to be perfectly honest with you. It made me look back at Steven Gerrard's career and look forward at Trent Alexander-Arnold's career. And I do have a little bit of a concern. Now, my concern mainly comes from the fact that Trent Alexander-Arnold has not renewed his contract and is set to expire at the end of the season. Now, it's no secret that Real Madrid are kind of seeking after Trent Alexander-Arnold. We all know about his friendship with Jude Bellingham, and seeing the two pictured, it seems like every international break, you do have to question if he is being persuaded to go to Real. Now, many of you may forget, but Steven Gerrard, he was kind of swayed away from Liverpool with a lot of interest from several different European clubs in his prime. And now, Liverpool during Gerrard's prime, it is nowhere near the comparison of where Liverpool is in Trent Alexander-Arnold's prime. Fernando Torres, Mascherano, Alonso, and even Suarez and Sterling all left Liverpool to go to what were perceived as bigger, more competitive European clubs. And now when I look at Trent Alexander-Arnold and I see the potential of him getting swayed to go to another European club, I get a little nervous as a Liverpool fan. Because when I look back at Stevie G's career, if I'm being entirely honest, I do think that us Liverpool fans love the fact that he stayed with us, but I think it hurt his legacy to a certain extent. Now, it didn't hurt his legacy from how we perceive him. We look at him as the greatest player to ever play for the club, unless you're someone who would say Kenny Dalglish, but nevertheless, I think global fans, if Steven Gerrard was to have left, they would have appreciated his talent during his prime a lot more. And to a certain extent, when you look at Gerrard, he always had the one thing that he wanted to win at Liverpool, and that's the Premier League. And it is unfortunate that he never won that. Now, when you look at it with Trent, Trent's won every single trophy possible for Liverpool, and he's like 26 years old. So my concern comes from the fact that if you compare him to Gerrard, Gerrard is not considered one of the greatest center midfielders of all time. Yes, obviously he's top 10, but when you look at that top 5 range, the likes of Zidane, Xavi, Iniesta, even I would think some people would put like Modric above him. These guys that went to Real Madrid or they went through the Barcelona academy. These players are looked at in a different ilk than how a lot of people look at Steven Gerrard. Now, you might not agree with me, but I think that if Gerrard was to have gone to a different club and gained that global respect, I think a lot of people would be looking at him differently now. I would be looking at him differently now because I would probably hate him, and I love him. He's my favorite player of all time. So I do think he sacrificed a certain part of his career so that Liverpool fans can look at him a particular way. And now when you look at Trent, I would probably be really, really angry at Trent if he left Liverpool. And I don't think he's going to. But if Trent leaves Liverpool and he was to go to Real Madrid, there's a potential that he could be considered the greatest right back of all time. And if you're looking at this season, there's a potential for Liverpool to win more trophies. We look extremely impressive through 3 games. There's a lot that we don't know under Slot. He's a brand new manager. But there is a potential that we can win a few more trophies in this season. So I'm just making this video to point out the obvious. Trent Alexander-Arnold obviously looks up to Steven Gerrard. That's clear, and we all understand why he would. But I think when he looks back at Steven Gerrard's career, I often wonder if he's going to look at the part that Stevie G kind of feels as though, maybe I could have made a different turn there, and in the grand schemes of global football, people would look at me different. Because if Trent Alexander-Arnold was to go to Real Madrid, I do think there's a strong possibility people would look at him as the greatest right back of all time. I obviously hope he doesn't. I really, really hope Trent stays with Liverpool because I'm selfish and I love Liverpool. However, I really, really think that we may be overlooking how much there's an opportunity for him going forward. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Click that notification bell so you know every time I make a new video. Also, my Twitter is right here on the screen as well. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.